5 News at Noon starts now.
People in Benton County saw some heavy rain and flash flooding this morning. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi has more on what we know about the flooded roads and street closures. And President Trump calls on his attorney general to seek the release of grand jury transcripts in the case of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Well, thanks for joining us for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with Joshua Weisel. Been a while since we had you on the Noon. He enjoyed some really much deserved time off. We always say that, but you really did deserve it. And coming back, we've been talking about how hot it is, but the story today, a lot of people saw a lot of rain.
Yeah, and came back just in time for the forecast to just go, bonkers all over the place.
Of course, that's how it goes.
We had all that rain. It's also going to be hot and humid next several days, starting with the temperatures. And you can see 80s and 90s already so far at this hour. And you can see those feels like temperatures are equally as hot, if not hotter in some spots. A little less warm in northwest Arkansas, but now we're starting to see some triple digits in the River Valley at noon. So it is already a hot day so far, and it's only going to get hotter. So we'll have the latest details on that. Here's a look at that rain, and notice some areas saw anywhere between, just a couple tenths of an inch to some more extreme rainfall totals up to almost 6 inches from the activity last night. And I wanted to kind of recap this. There's a lot of people that were asking, well, how does this happen? Well, the answer is, notice all of this stationary activity that really didn't move. Well, that's thanks to we had a lot of humidity in the atmosphere, and during this time of the year, you could have all the ingredients at place for the rain, but aloft, there's not a whole lot of wind to push that rain anywhere. So it just sits over areas repeatedly, leading to that heavy rainfall activity. So think of putting a sailboat in the water. You have enough to float, but without the wind, it's just not going to go anywhere. So that's why we had that heavy rainfall last night. We'll have more details on the heat and the humidity here coming up in just minutes.
Thanks, Joshua. And people in Benton County, of course, waking up this morning to flooded roads and street closures. Heavy rain and flash flooding hit the area last night. The Maysville Volunteer Fire Department posted on Facebook overnight saying that multiple agencies have been carrying out swift water rescues. And the Lowell Fire Department says multiple roads are closed due to flooding. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi was out there throughout the night or into the early morning and shows us some of the damage. He spoke to one resident who says flooding has been an issue in Cave Springs for a while.
Cave Springs police tells me that Friday morning's rain brought flood strong enough to push a car just like this one down a hill and into a ditch.
And that was a brand new culvert, just fixed. Everything was just finished. Now it's all broken up and they got to start all over again.
Angelo Del Verde tells me his neighbor's truck, as you see here, floated nearly 100 yards downstream into this culvert. The Cave Springs resident says floodwaters pushed rocks onto his property, leaving behind a mess he'll be cleaning up for days. He believes the flooding has gotten worse in recent years, pointing to new housing developments as a possible cause.
Water came up pretty high. It was a pretty good river last night. It's been an issue for 20 years since I've been here. I got a dam built up over there so the water don't come to it. Because one year it came almost underneath the porch. So I built a dam so it turns the water away. It turns. I had to do what I had to do to protect myself, so, because nobody else is doing it.
From Springdale to Highfill, rising floodwaters turned some roads into rivers, making travel nearly impossible. These images show Copperhead and Wagon Wheel roads in Springdale completely submerged and resembling a fast-moving stream. Early Friday, Benton County activated its road department, shutting down routes deemed too dangerous for drivers. In Highfill, just minutes from XNA, a section of Highway 264 was closed, backing up traffic and leaving commuters stuck on their way to work and back home.
I knew the rain was going to come, but I didn't know it was going to flood this bad. A lot of people said that it was just going to shortly, this small little rain, but I guess we got a whole bunch.
Benton County has an unincorporated road closure map for residents to view closures. They say that map will be updated throughout the day as roads close and reopen. In Cave Springs, covering news where you live, Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
Thank you, Jacob. And new at noon, police say they've made an arrest in connection to a homicide investigation in Fort Smith. Police have not identified the person who was arrested. We're learning that 39-year-old Jerry Bean died. Police say the investigation is still ongoing after they responded to the 1300 block of North 38th Street around 4:45 this morning. Police say there are no remaining suspects at large. We're working to learn more, and we will bring you the latest on this right here on 5 News. Well, right now, the Fayetteville Public Schools District is in federal court. A lawsuit was filed against the district over the state's new law that requires schools to post the 10 Commandments in classrooms and libraries. 5 News reporter Bo Russell is live there for us now. He stepped out to tell us what's going on. Bo.
Thanks, Morgan. I'm here in front of the federal courthouse in downtown Fayetteville, where right now plaintiffs, which include 6 families and 4 school districts in Northwest Arkansas, are suing the state over Arkansas Act 573. Now, Act 573 was signed into law by Governor Sanders in April earlier this year. And yeah, as you said, it requires that schools prominently display the 10 Commandments in their classrooms. Now today, the plaintiffs have brought forward 1 witness expert. They spent about an hour making sure the judge and everyone agrees that he's a witness on history, religious history, and law in the United States. Now, he's spoken a lot about how the founding fathers of this country, when they wrote what he calls the 3 founding documents, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence, they really veered away from using religious language and from favoring one religious sect over any other. So that's the argument they've been making so far, kind of setting the stage of what's to come in this lawsuit. Now, today is just a preliminary injunction, meaning they're just trying to push back that date of August 5th, where classrooms will have to put the 10 Commandments up. For now, we'll bring you more later. I'm live in Fayetteville, bringing you covering news where you live. I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
Thank you, Bo. And also new at noon, a man is arrested in Springdale after police say he choked a canine and punched a woman. Police say 36-year-old Rexton Lyles attempted to strangle the police canine after officers were responding to a domestic disturbance call on Thursday. The report shows that just after 1 in the morning, a woman called authorities to say that Lyles assaulted her. During a search for Lyles, a police canine tracked his scent and led officers to him. Police say Lyles was attempting to choke the dog with his arms around its neck. Lyles was taken into custody and placed under arrest. He's facing charges of domestic battery, resisting arrest, and killing or injuring animals used by law enforcement, among other charges. Well, President Trump has ordered his attorney general to seek the release of grand jury testimony in the Jeffrey Epstein case. It comes as a new Wall Street Journal article alleges Trump wrote Epstein a suggestive letter. Natalie Brand has the details from the White House.
No, it's a hoax. As the president grows increasingly frustrated with focus on the Jeffrey Epstein files and pressure from some of his own supporters to release more information.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
The Wall Street Journal alleges Trump wrote Epstein a birthday note in 2003, included in a collection of letters with a hand-drawn sketch appearing to be the outline of a naked woman. The Journal says the letter ends with, quote, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." President Trump calls the letter fake, writing on social media, "These are not my words, not the way I talk." He's now threatening to sue the outlet and owner Rupert Murdoch.
Hours after the Wall Street Journal report, President Trump ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to seek to release pertinent grand jury records from the accused sex trafficker's case, which Bondi says she will ask the court to do.
I've never seen this type of request before.
Mitchell Epner, a former federal prosecutor, says a judge will make the final decision and the request could take months or more. And it's unclear how much of what the DOJ has it will seek to release.
It could be very broad, but it is not, and it is certainly far from everything that they could make public.
The push to release all Epstein files has divided Republicans after the DOJ issued a memo this month saying Epstein did not have an incriminating client list. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
On Capitol Hill, a push for more Epstein information briefly delayed a White House rescissions package, which ultimately passed. The bill, which claws back about $9 billion in foreign aid and funding to PBS and NPR, now heads to the president's desk to sign. Well, the total death toll of the 4th of July floods in Texas has risen to at least 135. An additional death was reported Thursday in Travis County, Texas. Search and cleanup missions continued, but walls of debris have made it challenging to find more victims. Texas Governor Greg Abbott held a press conference saying this is officially one of the worst disasters in state history.
While Kerrville has drawn a lot of attention, and there's reasons for it. I think it's the largest flood in the history of Texas. And more people lost their lives in Kerrville than those who lost their lives in Hurricane Harvey.
The Texas state legislature will discuss adding new flood warning systems during a special session on Monday. Well, today on 5 News Plus, we will be airing a 1-hour special on the Texas flooding. It's called Hearts and Heroes, Flooding in the Texas Hill Country. Our affiliates in Texas are raising funds to help those still in need. You'll be able to stream this for free on your smart TV app, 5 News Plus. It'll be right after our 6 o'clock newscast tonight. And happening today, Bucking in the Ozarks returns this weekend. You can watch some great riders and some ranked bulls at Parsons Stadium in Springdale. Gates open at 6:30, and the event will start at 8 tonight and tomorrow night. For a list of other local events, you can check out our weekend guides on our website, 5newsonline.com. Also happening this weekend, the King Opera House in Van Buren is opening its production of Hairspray tonight. The first performance starts at 7. The show runs through Sunday. Also happening tonight, country music star Jason Aldean will be performing at the Walmart Amp. The gates are scheduled to open at 6 in Rogers, and music is set to start at 7:30. And tickets are still available for this on the Walmart Amp website.